Hey travelers, welcome back to Laura's Travel Talk. Today, in our continuing series of the 50 U.S. states, one state a week, we're going to Connecticut. Connecticut, it's small but mighty. We're going to look at the historic Mystic. We're going to look at some of the seaports, which are just absolutely beautiful. I mean, this state has history and it's got this stunning coastline. It's got some cute, charming, quaint little small towns, and it's got some outdoor activities and just things to see and do. So I hope you stay with us and join us as we take off through Connecticut. So our first stop is going to be the town of Mystic. I know some of you remember the movie Mystic River. That's what that's from. But it is home to the Mystic Seaport Museum, and it is actually the largest maritime museum in the U.S. Didn't know that. And it also features the Mystic Aquarium, which is where you can see all these beluga whales up close. Beluga whales have such a odd, unique little look to them. I always find that interesting. And then it's got a charming downtown area. It's filled with boutique shops and seafood restaurants and all that good stuff. My tips for visiting? Well, I would go to see the Charles W. Morgan, which is the last wooden whaling ship in the world. And then I would go check out the old Mystic Village, shopping, unique things to see and do, stuff like that. And then I would also go over and I would try, oh, look at that Christmas picture. That's beautiful. But I would try out Mystic Pizza. Mystic Pizza was also made famous in a 1988 movie of the same name. And I believe it was Julia Roberts' first movie debut. So next up, we have New Haven, Connecticut, which is the home of Yale University. And this prestigious university is full of stunning Gothic architecture. It's got that great sports complex that you see there. And it features an art gallery. You've got a lot of different university buildings there. And the art gallery houses works by Van Gogh and Picasso. That's no schlump. And then, of course, New Haven is also a foodie paradise for burgers and pizza. I'll explain in a moment. But if you go and see this building and you see all this Gothic architecture and the art inside and the law buildings and the sports complex, it's pretty cool. And then you've got to go to visit Louis' Lunch. Louis' Lunch, as it says on the front, was established in 1895. And I'm going to read this. It is a fast food hamburger restaurant, and it claims to be the first fast food restaurant to serve hamburgers and the oldest continuously operated hamburger restaurant in the United States. According to Louis' Lunch, the hamburger was created in 1900 in response to a customer's hurried request for a lunch to go. Hamburgers cooked in this restaurant are made on the original cast iron vertical gas broilers from 1898. And the toast is made in a 1929 savory appliance radiant gas toaster. And the building is a New Haven landmark. So I don't know if you've seen these before. It's really interesting. But they put those burgers between those grates with the onion on it. And then they put it vertical into those gas burners from the 1800s, still today. But there's rules to eating at Louis' Lunch. If you look at this, the burgers are cooked medium rare. Anything else, you got to kind of order. And on Louis' Lunch, you get a hamburger or a cheeseburger. The options, tomato or onion only. You get a potato salad or a chip and a dessert. Kind of like cheeseburger, chigaburger, no Pepsi. But another tip that I would give you would be do not ask for mustard or ketchup. It's a no-no. And it's because Louis is very proud of their beef. And it is got no additives or preservatives, and it is really good beef. And so you've got the onion and the tomato for flavor. Other than that, that's it. And it's put on that toast. So get yourself a Louis burger. Fantastic. And then they also have New Haven style pizza. It's called a pizza. And you can go to Frank Pepe's or Sally's a pizza. And their differentiator is that they leave the pizza in just a little bit too long to char the edges, which I love. So I thought I'd point that out for all y'all that are pizza lovers. Enjoy. So our next stop is going to be the Gillette Castle State Park. This is a medieval style castle, and it was built by actor William Gillette, who was famous for playing Sherlock Holmes. Not the Gillette razor people. William Gillette, old-timey actor. But it's got a bunch of secret passages and a bunch of this Gothic workmanship. It's kind of cool. And it offers stunning views of the Connecticut River. So my tips for visiting would be take the Chester Hadlam Ferry, and it'll give you a scenic way to reach the castle. And then the best time to visit, of course, is in fall. Because why? Well, you got the fall foliage. You're in Connecticut, for crying out loud. And then take a picnic lunch. There are plenty of scenic spots to sit down and relax and enjoy. So get this one. So our next stop is in Hartford, Connecticut, and it's the Mark Twain House and Museum. So this historic home of Mark Twain is where he wrote The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. And it is one of the most well-preserved Victorian Gothic homes in the country. So there's a whole museum there, and all the rooms are open, and you can go see this fence where, Tom Sawyer was persuading people to whitewash it for him and then got paid for it. And then the cool thing is you can combine it with a visit to Harriet Beecher Stowe's house. Why? Because it's right next door. What? How's that a thing? So Harriet Beecher Stowe's house is pretty well preserved too, as you can see. And Harriet Beecher Stowe, if you're not aware, wrote the famous novel Uncle Tom's Cabin. So get yourself some time and get out there and see those two. That seems like an easy trip. The next spot, you should stop and see the Essex Steam Train and Riverboat. Why is it great? Well, it's a historic train ride through Connecticut's countryside. First of all, the train is cool on its own. And then you're going with a scenic view through the countryside. And then you can also take the riverboat cruise. But it's got a family-friendly adventure. You can eat in there. There's a dining car. And during the holidays, they do a North Pole Express. So you got to take the kiddies out for that one. And I would say the tips for visiting would be book your tickets in advance, especially during fall foliage, because what a fabulous way to see all the changing leaves going in that train. And then you can have a train experience with dinner. And then you can get on the boat and you can go by the Gillette Castle because it goes along the same route. So take this one. This looks pretty cool. So our next stop is going to be Litchfield Hills. Litchfield Hills is the best of the New England countryside. There's a lot of old money in Litchfield. Anyway, why is it great? Well, it's got a stunning rural look to it. It's filled with charming towns, wineries, hiking trails. It features the Kent Falls State Park and one of the most beautiful waterfalls in Connecticut. It's pretty cool. And then, of course, you can't go to the Northeast without having a cool old bridge that you can walk across the water. And then my tips would be visit in the autumn for a classic New England fall foliage experience. You can go stop by the White Flower Farms and see the beautiful seasonal gardens. Look at that. Nonstop. And you can explore the Hopkins Vineyard Winery for some wine tasting with a beautiful view. What could go wrong? Next stop up, Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods Resort Casinos. For those of you who know me, know I love this stop. Now, I've been to Foxwoods Casino. I have not been to Mohegan Sun. But why are they great? Well, they are two of the largest casinos in the world, not just the U.S., in the world. And they both have top-tier restaurants, spas, live shows, all the amenities that you'd expect. Mohegan Sun is known more for its glitzy atmosphere. And then Foxwoods has a more expansive game floor. And when I say expansive, I'm not kidding. That place is giant. So have your walking shoes on. And they both have great concert venues because they attract major music and comedy acts. And then lastly, if you're up to it, you can visit the Tanger outlets because they're right there at the Foxwoods Casino for some great shopping deals. So enjoy. So our next stop is the Connecticut Wine Trail. Why is it great? Well, there's a collection of 25 wineries, many with breathtaking vineyard views. I put the little map there so you could see them all. And they're great for a relaxing weekend getaway with tastings, live music, local cheeses. And then some of the best wineries there are Priam Vineyards, Jones Winery, Hopkins Vineyard, and then try the Connecticut grown white wines because they're known for their crisp, refreshing taste. And if you visit in the late summer when the vines are lush and the weather is perfect, you get all the fantastic views and all the good wine at the same time. Enjoy. Next up, we're going to look at Hammonasset Beach. That's in Madison, Connecticut. Why is it great? Well, it is the largest beach in Connecticut, and it's perfect for swimming, sunbathing, hiking. It's got everything. And it features the Meigs Point Nature Center, where you can learn about, all the local wildlife to that area. My tips for visiting would be arrive early in the summertime because the parking daily fills up pretty quickly. You can see how crowded the beach is. And the boardwalk at sunset, beautiful views. And then also right nearby is the Clinton Premium Outlet, so you can do some shopping while you're hanging out at the beach. Enjoy. So here's another cool spot, Lake Compounce, the oldest amusement park in America. It was opened in 1846, and it makes it the oldest continuously operating amusement park in the U.S., and it's home to the Boulder Dash, which is one of the best wooden roller coasters in the world. Pretty cool. Here's the sign that tells you all about the America's oldest amusement park. And that is a fantastic old wooden roller coaster. There's nothing better than that sound of I love it. I love it. So my tips would be bring a swimsuit because the park also has a water park section. Buy your tickets online to save money and avoid long lines. And then also if you visit in October, there's Phantom Fall Fest with Halloween themed attractions. So there are no pro sports teams in Connecticut. They're so close to New York. Most of them are fans of New York or Massachusetts teams. But I cannot go by without giving a nod to UConn and their Huskies. The NCAA basketball for men and women, unbelievable, both. And they're almost always in the March Madness tournament finals. So I just wanted to give them a nod. So I'll finish off with telling you, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. And I just need to continue to get watch time hours. So stick with me. Next week, we'll do another state. And once a week, I also do another travel video of some sort. So I hope you can join us next week. And in the meantime, get over to Louie's Lunch and get yourself one of those vertical hamburgers or have a little charred pizza. Have fun.